Hi, my name is Sam Sloan. Been doing little tutorial videos over the last sort of 12 months or so during lockdown, just to sort of help people get online, get used to using systems, etc., and just to sort of share some hints and tips, really, just how you can get the best out of whatever system it is that you're using. So today we're going to have a look at Teams. I've already logged into Teams, obviously I've got a session set up here. And what we're going to have a look at today is breakout rooms, and how simple now it is to actually create and run and use breakout rooms in Teams. But we can also mix it up a little bit as well. How can we use Jamboard also in the breakout rooms? So let's kind of put two of these together. So we have our participant, etc., that runs along the top. We have the chat. We have our little reactions that of course have come up, but now we have a new little icon, well, since the end of December pretty much, with breakout rooms. So when I click on the breakout rooms here, it gives me a couple of choices. Asks how many I need, so let's just say 2, just for arguing's sake, even though I've only got 1 attendee in. I can automatically assign it, which I'll do in just a second, or I can manually assign it, whichever way. If you, for instance, maybe want specific people in a certain breakout room, or to work with each other, or maybe to unassign individuals as well, that can be quite useful to use the manual. So let's just do automatic just for now. So let's go create breakout rooms. Kind of takes a second or two of it kind of going around just to sort of set up what it is that it's doing. And then in this panel on the right hand side here, it starts to show us exactly what it is it's selected. So the assign participants, the top section here, this would be who's left in the main room. So if you've done it manually, for instance, which I'll do in a second, they would be in there. But in this occasion, I selected ZZ Sam, the guest account that I've logged in on my second laptop, to actually go into room number 1. Of course, there's nobody in room number 2, because of course there's nobody in extra within the session either. So I can even, if I wanted to, I can select Sam here, my second machine, and I can even assign her to room 2 if I wanted. So once I've done the assignment, I can actually change them around as well. Or I can even, if I want to, click on her name again and unassign her, which would pop her into the very top box, which in fairness, when you do it manually in that box just a second ago, is exactly how it does it. It leaves everybody unassigned. You then click on their name and assign them to a specific breakout room. Really useful, dead handy. So how do we start the room? So I'm going to send Sam in to the breakout room. It's really simple to do, and we get a couple of choices and options just before we do as well. So let's just go up to the little dots at the top here. So when we click on these, I can recreate the rooms if I want. I wouldn't necessarily need to do that, but I could do if I wanted to. I can add a room, or I can move people around. And of course you get room settings. I tend to have this selected, automatically move participants into rooms. Sometimes I forget to click on the little box that pops up, etc., and I just think it tends to make it a little bit easier. And if you want, participants can return to the main meeting as well. I tend not to toggle that on, but again, you can if you want to. So again, we come back to the assign page, and you can see here that Sam is in room number 1. I can also, if you hover over room number 1 here and the little dots there as well, you can open the room, I can rename the room, or I can simply delete the room as well. So we've actually got a few other choices and options from there. If I wanted to add a room, simply add a room, and it will give me breakout room number 3. So if I had a larger group, for instance, and I get the same options on the 3 little dots at the side. So let's just start the rooms then. So I could start that room. 10 seconds it gives you, so there's a countdown. Pretty much, you think you maybe done something wrong, you haven't, don't worry, it will come up in just a second where it will say open, or the room is open, or something like that, open room, whatever. Sam's gone in, I can see it actually gone in, and then it says open. So now as I hover over that particular room, I can join that room if I wish to. I can pop in there and see how she's getting on, I can rename the room, or I can close it. What I can also do now at the top here in the more options is make an announcement. So I could say, I don't know, 1 minute remaining, for instance. And when I send that, that disappears off into ZZ Sam, and I can see there that obviously she has received that announcement message from me. So really simple to use. I might now want to close this room and bring ZZ Sam back. and I simply close the room again. I can see there it's given a 10-second countdown on my second machine, which is always the real useful part of having a second machine logged in that you can use as an attendee view, because then you can see exactly what's going on. And I quite often send that particular machine into a breakout room just so I have that perspective as well. So as we can see here now, it's closed. Everybody would be back in the main room, if you like, back to the participants, and you can see everybody's back in this main room. You can quite clearly see here all of those breakout rooms are closed. Super easy.